against Mary Marcus, which is item 2, 2024-0317. Ms. Marcus, we convened and discussed quite a few things related to what consequence will be handed down, and the determination that we made. But before I get there, I want to discuss with you how valuable your license is. You are young, you are learning. It's very key. One of the key things, and I'm going to speak to you from a mother's heart, is you learn lessons. But as you become an adult, you have to take control of your destination, whether it's in a job or any other decision that you make. It sounds like you have a lot of responsibility in your life. And you've made a couple mistakes, but they are serious enough that if there's another one, you come back here, I can't guarantee that you will have a bartender's license. So you need to really, really think about it. And it's beyond what Mr. Silver or any other employer offers you for training. You need to educate yourself about what your responsibility is. It's not the matter of, okay, we're just earning a buck and getting a tip so we can take care of our family. You are responsible for people that are leaving a bar that could hurt themselves or others. Okay? And there's a reason there's a law. So I'm not going to go on any further in a lecture form, but we have determined that we will dismiss this against you. We will not take action at this point. You have 2 strikes against you. You know what a third is going to be, and I need to hear your response.
Of course, no more license.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Okay, and you can remain there, or if you choose to leave, I'm assuming you came together?
Came separate.
Oh, you came separate, okay. So you hang out, because I would like you to hear this other portion, because we're going to take a summons and complaint against Flying Unicorn LLC, doing business as the Thirsty Cactus Saloon, 6108 West Burn Street, Agent Craig Silver. Mr. Silver, I don't know where to begin with this, because as I stated in the beginning, we want to see you succeed. We want to see every business in the city succeed. However, we are not the body that's going to tell you how you should run a business. That's a responsibility of a business owner.
Correct.
You need to have a business model. You need to be able to oversee your operations. You need to be responsible. And I don't personally, and collectively as a committee, we don't believe that you've met, I guess, how do I say it? You haven't met the fact that we think that you're there, that you have made good decisions in this process as a business owner. That's not to say that you can't get there, but that's what we want to see as a committee. We want to see that there's proof in the pudding, not just, I'm sorry, or I talk to my employees. Part of this is, finding out how you need to run your business. I would say it starts with written policy. It starts with protocol, follow through. Your employees are not on their own. You are responsible for your employees.
Right.
And they shouldn't, you say you're running a tight ship. I don't personally feel you're running a tight ship at all. I think in your mind you are, but I think you need to produce a proof to us as far as what direction you're going to go with this business, and that is pertinent to your success.
Right.
Goals are great, but you have to be able to measure how you're going to get there. And what we need to see as a committee, and our decision is, we want to give you 20-day suspension. However, with that being said, we did discuss the fact that we will drop that down to 10. If you can come back and show us what you are planning on doing, not just in word, but in deed, written policies. Alderman Haas had a great idea. Have you ever been on the Tavern League? That you looked up, maybe protocols, policies, additional, assistance. So you've got 13, 14 employees that you're responsible for, and you're saying they're all inexperienced. They're counting on you to teach them the right way. So,
I agree with you. I agree with that. Yes.
Right. So the determination that we have right now is that we want to give you 20 days, but we're going to stipulate and give you 10 days if you can come back by our next council meeting, which will be
July 10th.
July 10th. and you produce to the council and committee what your plan here going forward is. And I'll give you a suggestion. The first time I had anybody serve an underager, and now the second time, I would probably put a doorman at that door. You talk about you wanting to have, a destination like Beecher Street. You got a lot of hands in the pot. You've got a lot of things to be responsible for.
Right.
Station somebody at that door. Problem solved in most instances. And you did not come back even with that idea. So those are the things that I think we're looking for as a committee.
I understand that.
Make sense?
Yeah, I think also maybe I didn't do a good enough job explaining the policies that are in place and how, I guess, my own business. I think I maybe did a poor job.
Well, and that's
I was
fine.
trying to just answer the questions.
And we want to give you that opportunity, so you have that opportunity now, but we are going to impose, a minimum is going to be a 10-day. So it's up to you coming back, what that looks like, whether it's going to be a 10 or a 20. Fair? Or you accept, period. That's our ruling.
Correct.
So,
And the 10-day is the statutory minimum.
Yep.
So
Right.
it can't go any lower than that.
so with that being said, is there any other, protocol as to how I need to word this or state it?
No, I guess I just have two questions. One, first for for Maisie or Mary. So the statute says if the municipal governing body finds the complaint untrue, the proceedings shall be dismissed without cost to the accused. If the municipal governing body finds the complaint to be malicious and without probable cause, the cost shall be paid to the complainant. You're not finding that it was malicious or probable cause, correct?
I don't believe we were, no.
Okay. Thank you. I wasn't trying to make anybody mad there.
No.
Paying anybody a cost.
No.
My concern only then is that if there's a subsequent offense, I will reallege these in all likelihood. So I'm not asking you to find maybe a untrue complaint, but maybe be more appropriate at this point. Well, I guess I'll defer to your counsel, but if I withdraw the complaint or do something along those lines, then I can at least reallege it in the future. My concern is if we find it untrue per the statutory language, then we're starting over fresh with a brand new first offense as opposed to
I think
third.
that would be in the spirit of what the committee intended if the prosecution was to withdraw, because the idea was that there be no further punishment for these incidents,
beyond
but
citations or
acknowledge
anything else.
that
Okay.
further incidents will result in punishment. So
Okay.
I think that's fair.
So by law, we can't consider underage sales unless there's 2 within a year if they're by police-like operation. And so I guess that would be my request then, if the committee finds that to be appropriate, to withdraw that complaint so that it may be reissued later without any findings. Is that acceptable?
I find it acceptable, honey. Okay,
All right.
that would be fine. So do I need to say
withdraw
that?
No, I'm making a motion to withdraw that, and
Okay.
maybe there just be a vote that you
Yeah.
approve that?
Okay,
Okay.
all right, so you stated it already, or are you going
Yeah.
to state it?
I'm
Motion to
requesting authority, or I'm moving the court effectively to withdraw my formal complaint against Miss Marcus.
And I
Um,
vote is in favor, yes, and a nay vote is no. So we'll start with Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Alderman Haas.
Aye.
Alderman Halverson.
Aye.
Alderman Rowe.
Aye.
And the chair votes aye.
Very good, thank you. And then my other question is, generally speaking, when there's a penalty imposed, I would have to draft findings of fact, conclusion of law, and recommendation. Because it's a variable recommendation, do you want that after the 10th, or do you want that prepared before the 10th?
I would say prepare for the 10th with both.
Both options?
Options.
Okay.
And then the idea is that you should attend the council meeting on the 10th with if there's something about your policies that you think weren't communicated, then come with them printed and an actual, identified plan.
Right, yeah, there's a lot
the
going
10th.
on, a lot talking about, so
Sure.
I mean, like I said, I think I did just a poor job of.
And then, so I'll have these 2 documents for Madam Chair to sign off, whichever one you see is most appropriate.
After the meeting
make
on the
sense?
10th, yeah.
I'm glad to do 2, thank you.
Just change the one number.
Now for clarity, Mr.
waste.
Silver comes to the meeting, but he does not present at the meeting, or he does? Or does he put in a written plan? And that's submitted. I believe that.
Whatever you would prefer. If you
Okay.
would prefer that he provide something
available?
written only or written and talk about
I can be a bit.
I would prefer that he talk about it and present it. Are we in agreement?
I can agree on that,
Okay,
So he'll be at the committee meeting?
yep,
Okay.
yeah, so the next PSC meeting, that Mr. Silver, you appear with that plan.
Okay, so basically you just want me to put on paper my policies that I have in place or things that I'm going to change or?
Well, clarity as to what your model of your business is as far as, managing your establishment and showing your responsibility for that licensure. So if you're having problems with underage serving, what is your policy, written policy, not verbal policy, training? What are you gonna do to mitigate the issues here forward? That's for you to decide and present. I gave you one suggestion, which would be a doorman. In past, other establishments would come forward and say, okay, well, we're gonna review cameras. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna have a staff meeting once a week, twice a week. I'm not gonna allow my bartenders who are inexperienced to be unattended. I'm gonna present myself and be there and be responsible for my establishment and not put it on them solely, even though it's their license, things
I
like
mean, a
that.
plan of action.
Plan of action.
Plan of action.
What are you gonna do?
I
Yeah.
definitely have a plan of action.
Okay,
I mean, with all due respect, some of the things that you mentioned, not really feasible, but I'll definitely put the things down on paper that we're doing.
well, and if you don't find it feasible, we make that determination as to if we
Right.
agree with it. So
Correct, yeah, I know.
It's on you.
My whole life.
How much do you want,
Right.
to not have the 20 days versus the 10
Right,
and
well, I'll
potentially
definitely
come
put it on
back?
paper for you. I think that when you see it on paper, it'll be, when you visibly see all the policies and stuff that we have in place, that you maybe will think differently of your opinion that you just stated.
Hopefully. And, is
And
there
if we
any
could
other-
get that, excuse me, if we could get that maybe a day or two before the committee meeting to read over or not?
No, I think that is usually presented, because that was given the day, unless we change the date and say we want it sent.
All right, never mind.
I think personally, I think it'd be better if that Mr. Silver presents it and actually shares what his plan is,
Okay.
I mean, we could easily put it on the agenda that we could have, closed session to discuss it if you need time to read through it or anything.
Continued deliberations, right, it's still
Yeah.
the same, I think.
Yeah, would that work, Alderman Rowe?
I'm
That
sorry, what?
we have continued deliberation on it, that we
Sure.
go into closed session, so if we need to look over
Yep.
something? Okay,
That'd be perfect.
all right,
And I can plan to come to you.
all right.
Very good.
Is there anything further that we're gonna do? So we need a
Move we
motion.
adjourn.
Okay, there's a
Second.
motion to adjourn, and there's a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, we are adjourned. Thank you, Mr. Silver, thank you.
Thank you.
Marcus.
Thank you.